Once upon a time, there was a young man who was not like the others. While most boys his age were afraid of dark forests and ghostly tales, this youth was puzzled by one thing. He didn't know what it meant to shudder with fear. No matter what he encountered, he would simply say,
"If only I could learn what fear is."
His father, a simple man, grew tired of hearing these words. One day, he sent the boy off to learn a trade, but even the local sexton couldn't teach him fear. When the boy tried to spend a night in the church to learn fear, the sexton dressed up as a ghost and tried to scare him. But the youth simply said,
"Get out of here with your silly tricks, or you'll be sorry."
The youth's lack of fear earned him a reputation, and soon the king himself heard of it. The king promised riches to anyone who could spend 3 nights in a haunted castle filled with ghosts and monsters. But everyone who had tried before had either fled or never returned. The youth, however, saw this as his chance.
"If I could only learn what fear is, I'd be happy to spend 3 nights there."
So, off he went to the haunted castle. The first night, he made a fire to keep warm, but as the clock struck midnight, strange things began to happen. Out of nowhere, 2 large black cats appeared, each with fiery eyes. They stared at the youth and said,
"Shall we play cards?"
"Why not? But show me your paws first."
When they stretched out their claws, the boy wasn't frightened. Instead, he smacked them over the head with a heavy object, sending them yowling and running away. Just as he thought the excitement was over, a bed suddenly jumped up and down, tossing the boy from side to side. But rather than being scared, he yelled,
"If you keep this up, I'll make you stop."
Sure enough, the bed finally stopped its wild dance, and the youth settled down to sleep, still wondering,
"Why can't I learn what fear is?"
The second night was even stranger. As the clock struck midnight, 6 strange men appeared, carrying a coffin. Inside was a dead man.
"Now it's my turn to be afraid,"
thought the youth, but as the corpse sat up, he pushed it back down, saying,
"Stay in your place, or I'll make you lie down for good."
But when the corpse continued to rise, the youth grabbed it, dragged it to a fire, and warmed it up until it finally stayed put. On the 3rd night, a final, even more bizarre challenge awaited him. The boy found himself facing half a man who fell down the chimney, followed by the other half. The youth, still not afraid, put the pieces back together and said,
"You'll be whole again, like it or not."
Suddenly, an old man with a long white beard appeared and offered him a treasure chest full of gold, saying,
"This is your reward for surviving the castle. The curse is broken."
The boy left the castle, richer but still confused. He had everything he could want, but he still didn't know what fear was. He married the king's daughter, and she too was baffled by his lack of fear. Finally, one day, tired of his constant lament, she decided to take matters into her own hands. While he slept, she poured a bucket of cold water filled with tiny fish over him. The boy awoke with a start, shivering and trembling, and cried out,
Now I know what fear is. Now I shudder. I truly shudder.
And so, at last, the youth learned what fear was, though not in the way he had expected. But he was content, for he had finally discovered what it meant to shiver with fear, thanks to a bucket of cold water and a clever wife. And that, dear listeners, is the tale of the youth who went forth to learn what fear was. Sometimes, what we seek is found in the most unexpected ways.